first on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning to you and welcome into Fox 10 Midday. It's Thursday, January 15th. I'm Ashley Mitchell.
And I'm meteorologist Hannah Fink.
As you can tell, Hannah, we're matching today. We're also, I think, matching in our excitement for possible flurries, maybe?
I mean, I'm not excited about it, but I know a lot of people are. I'm from the Midwest. There's a reason I moved here. Call me a snowbird, but I do not want the snow. But the chances are not zero, but it's very low. We're still tracking models right now. They're not in agreement. But one thing I can promise is it is cold outside. Don't let that sunshine fool you. It is not helping us out with any warmth across the area. Not much cloud coverage either. Here's a look at our current conditions across the area. As you can see, our wind chill values really in the upper 30s. So we're in the mid to lower 40s across the area. 43 in Mobile Regional, but feeling like 36 over in Fairhope. 43 feeling like 37, and then over in Pensacola, 45 feeling like 38 degrees. And that's because we have some breezy conditions out here. Here's a look at our wind gusts. As of right now, we're about 20 miles per hour across the area. 23 mile per hour wind gusts in Mobile, 24 in Gulf Shores, 21 in Evergreen, and 18 degrees over in Leakesville. Here's a look at our temperature versus wind chill value over the next 10 hours. We're basically going to have a 5 to 8 degree difference from the actual temperature outside. We'll be lucky if we even break 50 today. The feels like temperature will be lucky if we even break the mid 40s throughout the day. As you can see, 42 for it feels like by 1 o'clock. Then we're going to already feel like the 30s by 7 o'clock tonight. And our dew points are extremely dry out there. That's also contributing to why our feels like temperature is the way it is. So those breezy temperatures with breezy conditions, and then the dry temperatures and the dry dew points. So our almanac today, well below average, 50 degrees for a high today. Normal temperature this time of year is usually about 61 degrees. Afternoon forecast shows it's chilly, it's breezy. You're going to want to bundle up. 49 degrees by 2 o'clock, then 50 degrees by 4 o'clock. Winds out of the northwest around 11 miles per hour. Now, I'm sure most people have heard about it. Are we going to get snow? Here's a look at some of our models as of right now. Our GFS is showing the possibility of some flurries, but the Euro is showing us dry as a bone. Really, we're going to keep an eye on this, but right now, the chances of seeing some snow, about a 20 to 30% chance accumulation is unlikely. Nothing like last year's event, but I'll have more details on this coming up.
Thank you, Hannah. First in our headlines today, President Trump is still pushing hard for Greenland, and now Europe is pushing back, sending troops from 6 countries to the island to show the White House they can handle Arctic security. Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson has more from Washington.
European troops are on the ground in Greenland. The first deployments of NATO's Operation Arctic Endurance are now underway. Half a dozen European countries providing personnel or support, hoping to show a skeptical White House that they're committed to Greenland's defense.
We will show the United States that NATO is present and European countries are mobilizing within NATO to ensure national security for the entire region and thus also for the United States.
The deployments come just hours after the president doubled down on his efforts to acquire Greenland, a self-governing Danish territory, once again claiming it's essential for America's national security.
The problem is not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland, but there's everything we can do.
A growing number of Greenlandic lawmakers are now urging NATO to get the U.S. to back down, saying efforts to boost security for the island should be a mutual decision.
We're not going to sell our country just to let it be owned by another country, but we are open to discussions.
The president also getting significant pushback from lawmakers here at home. And in America's Danish communities, the threat of military force against a Danish possession is being met with a mix of humor and alarm.
It seems very preposterous. It's one of those things I think we all discuss. It doesn't seem like a reality.
Danish and American officials agreed to set up a working group hoping to find a peaceful way to address the president's concerns. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Well, after anti-ICE protests in Minneapolis got out of hand last night, President Donald Trump is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act to prevent further attacks on federal agents. Protesters shouting the only good agent is a dead one. They want ICE out of their city, but instead the Department of Homeland Security is surging resources there to protect agents as they continue their immigration crackdown.
They know they're releasing murderers and rapists and drug traffickers on the streets of Minneapolis. We're out there making sure they don't harm American citizens, and we're getting attacked while we do it.
President Trump is also standing behind ICE, warning on social media, quote, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, I will institute the Insurrection Act, end quote. In the meantime, a federal judge in Minneapolis is allowing the ICE raids to continue for now. Meanwhile, U.S. forces in the Caribbean Sea have seized another sanctioned oil tanker this morning. The Veronica is the sixth tanker that has been seized by U.S. forces as part of the effort by President Trump's administration to control the production, refining, and global distribution of Venezuela's oil products. The seizure is the fourth since the U.S. ouster of Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro in a surprise nighttime raid almost 2 weeks ago. The Trump administration says the ship has ties to Venezuela. In the meantime, Pope Leo XIV met with the families of Italian teenagers who were killed or injured in the Swiss bar fire at a New Year's party. 6 of the dead and 13 of those injured in the fire at the Swiss resort bar were Italian citizens. Officials believe the flames were ignited by sparkling candles that just came too close to the ceiling, which was fitted with soundproofing material. Now, the head of the Catholic Church sought to console the families, telling them in Italian, quote, in the midst of so much pain and suffering, this deadly event is truly a test of our faith, a test of what we believe, and one might ask many times, why God? End quote. The families are expected to meet Italian government officials later on today. And breaking right now, an urgent search is underway in Escambia County, Florida, as the sheriff's office is looking for this 1-year-old. Investigators say Anastasia Grace Mason was last seen on December 2nd on the 6900 block of Pensacola Boulevard. Anastasia was last seen with her father, according to investigators. Her mother, 30-year-old Jamie Michaela Owens, has 2 active warrants out for her arrest. If you know or think you have seen them, call the Escambia County Sheriff's Office at 850-436-9620. That number is at the bottom of your screen as well. And new at 11, a spokesperson for the Mobile County Public School System confirming a school bus was involved in a crash on Lott Road while traveling towards Spice Pond Wednesday morning. Thankfully, officials say there were no reported injuries. The Sims Police Department is investigating the incident. We've reached out to Sims PD for additional details and are waiting a response. Information is limited at this time, and this is a developing story. A Fox 10 News investigation uncovers a controversial letter sent out by the Mobile County Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. We're told the letter was to warn someone suspected of uploading child pornography. Fox 10 News was made aware of the letter after a photo of it was posted on social media. A sheriff's office spokesperson confirmed the letter was sent by a detective, but was not authorized by the sheriff's office. A woman who posted about the letter on social media told us she was shocked the person was not being charged.
Reading down, I'm thinking, God, wow, this guy's going to be in trouble, and I read a little bit further, and then I get to this is a warning part, and I'm just like, this letter can't be real. It actually states it's sexual abuse on a child, and so, I guess that was the most alarming part. What a slap on the wrist or a pat on the back or,
The Mobile County Sheriff's Office says the detective who sent the letter wanted to be, quote, proactive. We are told they are now handling this matter internally. Meanwhile, a Mobile County family is desperate for answers this morning, 4 months after Edmund Reed disappeared. Reed was last seen September 22nd in 8 Mile. Someone called police that day about a man blocking traffic at the Hill Trucking dirt pit. A Sims police officer responded and found Reed and later dropped Reed off at Lott Road and University Boulevard, but no one has seen him since. Reed is 60 years old, 5'10", and weighs about 130 pounds. He has brown eyes and black hair. When he disappeared, he was wearing a maroon t-shirt and khaki pants. We're told Reed is also a member of the Mawachocta tribe. Reed's ex-wife, Cindy Hodges, says this disappearance has devastated their entire family. She says their adult son is heartbroken and deeply misses his father.
And he's not gotten his checks, and he's not called his son. I put flyers all over Mobile, all downtown. He was an awesome person. He'd give you the shirt off of his back. He loved his family. He loved his son very much. He was an awesome person, great personality.
Both Sims Police and Washington County Sheriff's offices say they haven't given up hope and the case remains active today. If you have information on Edmund Reed's whereabouts, you are asked to call the Sims Police Department or the Washington County Sheriff's Office. After being on the run for more than a year, the man police call the TikTok trickster is back behind bars. Police arresting 56-year-old Brenton Wayne Fillers in North Carolina. Authorities say his criminal record spans more than 30 years across several states, including here in Alabama. Fillers right now is being held on a $15,000 bond. We expect to learn more about the arrest and what it means for the Spanish Fort case very soon today. It's 11:10 now. Heads up for drivers in downtown Mobile. Drivers will temporarily be unable to turn left at the intersection of Government and Water Streets. The city's Public Services Department is working to determine the cause of a depression in the road there. Work starts at 10 o'clock Thursday morning. Once the problem is identified, plans will be made to remedy the situation. Access to the parking lot adjacent to the Amtrak platform will be from northbound Water Street only. It's 11:11 now on your Thursday. Straight ahead right here on Fox 10 Midday. The Mobile Parks and Recreation released their 2026 activity guide. They will be live in the studio next to talk about what you can expect this year. But first, Hannah, what can we expect for today out there?
You can expect a chilly day overall with that added on wind chill value. Better hope those kiddos keep that jacket on their way home. Only 50 degrees, but with that wind chill value, barely going to feel like 50 degrees. With sunshine though, but it won't help us all that much. It is going to continue to be cold into this weekend. I'll have more on that coming up after this break.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday. Spring and summer in Mobile are about to get a whole lot busier in the best way. Mobile Parks and Recreation has released its 2026 activity guide, and it's packed with ways you can get active, connected, and involved right here in the community. Joining me now to break down the new guide for us is Sierra Hampton and Phelan Carter. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you for having us again.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, what is the spring-summer activity guide for folks that don't know, and what are some of those activities that might jump out this year, starting with you?
Absolutely. So I'm the media marketing specialist, and one thing I can definitely tell you, it's our one-stop shop for all things parks and recreation, whether it's youth with our stream events, as well as some of our teen events that Phelan will speak to, as well as our senior events, and that spans across athletics, anything that is, adaptable, because we try to make sure everything's accessible to all members of the community of Mobile. But with some of the things we have coming up this month and next month, Phelan's going to tell you a little bit about what we have going on for our teens, and then if there's time, I'll mention a few things happening in March.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead and tell us some of those things that are happening. You guys do a lot in our community.
We do. It's every day. It's new. It's crazy. We're busy all the time. But coming up Wednesday, February 25th, we will be hosting our teen cooking class at the Continental Kitchen. So we're going to have a skilled chef who's going to be teaching us some things pertaining Mardi Gras. So Mardi Gras pasta, cheesecake, things like that. So yes.
That's incredible. I might need to attend that class because I'm not the best cook in the world, so might need to sign up for this one. I know you guys do a little bit of everything, it seems. So are these events free to the public? How do you sign up for them?
So more than anything, they'll need to visit our website, which is mobileparksandrecreation.com. mobileparksandrec.com. And some of the events are free. Most of our productions are free, and the productions are free for all members of your family, young and old, big and small. And then we have some of the more specialized events where we require a fee, more so to reserve your spot and cover a few of the supplies or materials needed. So a lot of our senior programming is free to the public. They have movie days coming up at Seals Community Center. They'll be watching A Wrinkle in Time week after next. And then other things like some of our teen events that we have coming up. Again, it's one of those things where we ask them to at least go on rec desk. So we hold the spots for those who want to attend and make sure that it's still accessible to everyone. We keep it fair that way. Yes.
Sure.
So it's yes and no.
Okay, very good. So simple as that. Definitely go to their website for sure. I was going to ask, are there any new classes or activities this year that you haven't had in years past?
Well,
Or is it pretty typical? Don't want to put you on the spot there.
We bring in something new all the time.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head, but we pretty much try to. Well, I know for the teens, we go with our youth advisory board, and they come up with different things all the time.
Gotcha.
And we try to make it to where, like Sierra said, it's beneficial for everyone.
Yes.
And we try to include everyone. So we try to have everyone to try to think outside the box.
Yes.
So that everyone is included, if that makes sense.
And our golf for all. So these are adaptive golf lessons. And again, it's just a registration so we can make sure we have the required number of instructors to participants, you know, to aid them if they're differently abled. And then as well, we have something that they started when I got here. We're like line dancing and dance classes, because I was familiar with the boots on the ground.
Yes.
Still don't know it, but I got the general fan movements down.
I love that
and
so much.
It's always something new. We try to stay on trend and make sure that it's interesting and useful to our members of the community. So while we focus on fun, we like to make sure things are educational as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for everything you all do. We are running short on time, but really quickly, where can we find these activity guides in Mobile?
You can visit our website. We have a downloadable version there, and you can also visit one of our many community centers that we have. But if you need 50 or more, feel free to email us or call up to headquarters, and we'll get a delivery scheduled to you.
All right. Thank you both so much for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you all on the show, and I know this year is going to be a success for sure.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Here's what it's looking like right now over in Gulf Shores. Not a lot of people on the beach, and I do not blame them. It is cold out there. I bet that sand is not feeling all that warm either, and the water also cold as well. And that just brings us over to our weather headlines. It is going to be a chilly day overall, and that added on breezy condition, it's going to make it feel even colder. Wind chill values feeling 5 to 8 degrees different than the actual atmospheric temperature. And we're expecting another cold night tonight into Friday morning. Luckily, no cold weather advisory is likely because we are going to actually see those winds calm down. So we're not going to really see much of an effect on our wind chill values. And then what everybody is wondering, another front is going to approach this weekend. Does that mean we're going to see snow? Well, we'll break that down in a minute. But here's a look at our wind speeds and gusts throughout the day. We're going to see about 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts until about the dinner time hours today. Then you see they start to calm down once we get to about the 6, 7 o'clock hour. So during the day, it's going to feel way chillier than it actually is. So for your afternoon planner, we'll barely be able to break 50 degrees. Even though it's sunny out there, it's not really helping us warm up all that much. 48 degrees by 1 o'clock, 50 degrees by 3 o'clock, then 49 degrees by 4 p.m. And our forecast highs today, well below average, usually about 61 degrees this time of year. Some of us may not even make it to 50 degrees. We have a high for 50 degrees over in Mobile, 51 in Gulf Shores, 50 in Milton, 47 in Evergreen, 49 in Chatham, and 51 degrees over in Loosedale. Now, I brought up those breezy conditions. Our wind chill values are barely even going to break the mid 40s today. We're going to feel like 42 degrees by 1 o'clock, 46 by 3 o'clock, and already getting into the feels like of 30s by 7 o'clock tonight. So it's definitely going to be a chilly one, and the temperatures are going to plummet. 29 degrees for a low tonight. Luckily, the winds do calm down, so they're going to give us a little bit of relief, but we're still going to see freezing temperatures. 32 degrees is that threshold for below freezing. No chance for wind tonight. Winds out of the east around 5 miles per hour. So here's a look at our forecast lows for tomorrow morning. Some of us may not even make it into the 30s. We have a low of 29 degrees in Mobile, 33 in Gulf Shores, 33 in Navarre, 25 in Bruton, 26 in Grove Hill, and 28 degrees for a low tomorrow morning. Now, what everybody wants to know, is it going to snow? Here's a look at some of our new models. The GFS is hinting at some snow in our more inland areas. Keep in mind, this has changed. More of our area was in that purple shading. Well, a lot of that is now off to our east of I-65. Maybe some wintry mix in areas near the coastline. And then our Euro. It's showing us dry as a bone. Maybe a lingering shower, if anything, a light drizzle in some areas. But it has all that rain just south of us. So what exactly does this mean? The chances are about a 20 to 30% chance right now of a few flakes and some wintry mix. Now, this forecast is extremely difficult. We're looking at the likelihood of 2 scenarios right now. The National Weather Service is also keeping an eye and communicating with us on what they're seeing. Accumulation is very unlikely. If we're going to see any snow, it's just going to fall and probably melt to the ground. We have a front moving through that's going to make our temperatures during the day 50 to 60 degrees. So it's going to cause a lot for us to be able to drop in temperature. So here's a better look at the GFS. Wintry mix around 12:30 at night Sunday morning. Then we could see some snow off to our east in areas such as Evergreen as it makes its way over towards Georgia. Some light rain near the panhandle near Pensacola. Now here's a look at what the Euro is showing. It's really just showing some rain. It's showing that snow way off to our east near Georgia. Could see some light drizzle on Sunday morning around 1 a.m., but it's really staying south of us. A northerly wind is going to bring us that chilly air, though, and then there's that snow off to our east over in Georgia. We're going to keep an eye on it as these models continue to update. We really won't have a better look until the high-resolution models come out in the next coming day. But our 7-day forecast, I will tell you, it is going to stay cold out there. We're going to keep an eye on this weekend forecast. Just remember to bundle up because it's going to be cold in the morning and the afternoon.
Good to know, Hannah. Thank you. Coming up on Fox 10 Midday, NASA's Crew 11 mission returns home early after one member develops a medical issue in space. The details on the landing after the break. Welcome back. After nearly 6 months in space, NASA's Crew 11 mission arrived home early today due to a medical problem with a crew member. Now, just 3 astronauts remain on board the International Space Station. Fox News senior correspondent Jonathan Sari has the story.
Splashdown of Crew 11 after 167 days in space.
4 crew members returning to Earth in the International Space Station's first ever medical evacuation. The SpaceX Dragon capsule splashed down off the coast of San Diego overnight after one crew member developed a medical issue while on board the ISS. NASA officials determined it was safest to treat on the ground, ending the Crew 11 mission about a month earlier than planned.
To be overwhelmingly clear, Crew 11 was a very successful mission. While this was the first time we had to return crew slightly ahead of schedule, NASA was ready.
NASA is not identifying the crew member or health issue to protect patient privacy, though the space agency says the individual is in stable condition and doing fine.
All crew members right now are they're safe. They're in good spirits. They're going through the standard post-splashdown medical checks. They're all going to the hospital as we had determined days ago.
Let's make a group hug. Before leaving the space station, astronaut Mike Fink handed over command to a Russian colleague who will remain on board with another Russian and American until the Crew 12 mission arrives. NASA is trying to expedite that flight, targeting a launch as early as February 15. NASA says the current crew on board the ISS will be unable to perform spacewalks, even for emergencies, until the next rotation arrives. In Atlanta, Jonathan Sari, Fox News.
It's 11:27 now on Fox 10 Midday. Still to come, a department store giant plans to close more stores. That story and much more coming up in your business headlines. Plus, American Legion Post 199 in Fairhope celebrating its reopening this morning. Our Stephen Moody was there as they thanked the community's help to get the building back up and running. But first, Hannah, a nice sunny, chilly day for us today.
Emphasis on the sunny as well as the chilly. Here's a look at our current conditions across the area in Fairhope as well as West Mobile. It's about 43 degrees in both locations, but look at that feels like temperature, feeling like the upper 30s with that wind gust around 10 miles per hour. And the dew points are also not helping us out either. It is going to be a chilly day, so make sure you bundle up throughout the rest of your Thursday. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back. It's time for your Thursday half-hour headlines now. A construction crane working on an elevated highway project outside Bangkok fell onto the road below, killing 2 people. Thai highway officials said Italian Thai Development PCL was one of the contractors working on this project. Now, the incident comes a day after at least 32 people were killed and dozens more hurt when a separate construction crane fell onto a moving train. That crane was being used as part of a Chinese high-speed rail project. And then Matthew McConaughey is trying to get ahead of any potential unauthorized AI deepfakes by trademarking himself. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has approved 8 McConaughey trademarks over the past few months. They include video and audio of the Oscar-winning actor, including him saying his famous catchphrase, "All right, all right, all right." His lawyers say they don't know of any unauthorized instances of his likeness being manipulated by artificial intelligence yet. The trademarks would give McConaughey standing to sue in federal court. And then finally, Martin Luther King Jr. would be 97 years old today. Born in 1929, King's involvement with the civil rights movement dates back to the 1950s. He led the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955 after Rosa Parks famously refused to give up her seat to a white passenger. He was also awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, the same year the Civil Rights Act was passed. King also spoke out against the Vietnam War in 1967. He was later assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee the following year. Because of the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, King's birthday recognized nationally on a different day.
Here's another live look outside over at Fairhope Pier. You can really see those breezy conditions out there. The flag is definitely waving. Wind gusts about 20 miles per hour today, adding on to that feels like temperature out there. So feeling way cooler than it actually is out there. And here's a look at our weather headlines for what we're tracking. Overall, it's going to be sunny and chilly this afternoon thanks to that added on wind gust out there. We're also tracking the possibility for if we're going to see snow this weekend or not. But right now across the area, it is cold out there. 43 degrees over at Mobile Regional, 45 degrees over in Pensacola. Winds out of northwest around 13 miles per hour. Feeling like 36 degrees, though, over in Mobile. Feeling like 38 degrees over in Pensacola. So as you make your way out the door over the next few hours, definitely not going to see any rain, but it's going to be sunny out there. Winds are going to continue to gust, barely making it to 50 degrees by this afternoon. So here's a look at our forecast for today. Not really going to see a cloud in sight throughout the day today. 52 for a high in Pascagoula, 52 in Hurley, 51 over in Leakesville. In our more inland areas, we're going to have a high of 48 in Jackson, 48 in Grove Hill, 47 in Beatrice, 47 in Evergreen, 48 degrees in Atmore, and 49 degrees over in Fruitdale. Moving into Mobile and Baldwin County, a high of 50 degrees in Mobile as well as Theodore, 51 in Grand Bay, 49 in Citronelle, 49 in Robertsdale, and 50 degrees over in Gulf Shores. Moving into Northwest Florida, we'll have a high of 50 degrees over in Pensacola, 48 in Jay, 49 over in Fort Walton Beach, then 49 degrees over in Crestview. So here's a look at your evening planner. We're going to see clear skies out there, but we're going to drop in temperature quite quickly. 43 degrees by 6 o'clock, 38 degrees by 8 o'clock. We did have that cold weather advisory last night into this morning, but we will not have that, luckily, because our winds are going to calm down. So our wind chill values are really going to be where we're supposed to be with the actual atmospheric temperature. But it's still going to be cold out there, so make sure you protect yourself, your pets, as well as your pipes. Now, we are tracking some rain chances. We're tracking the precip amount, basically. We have 2 cold fronts moving through the area. We have one moving through on Saturday that can bring us some drizzles during the day. And then on Sunday, we have another one moving through Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's the one we're tracking for the possibility of some snow. So here's a look at the different models. This is the most updated version. The GFS actually had a lot more snow earlier this morning. That's that purple shading. Now it's looking a little bit more like wintry mix and maybe some showers near the coastline. So that has changed up quite a bit. That's why this forecast is so difficult. Our models are not actually agreeing. This is a look at our Euro. It's showing us pretty much dry for the most part. We could see a light drizzle earlier in that morning around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, but most of it stays south, and it actually has snow well off to our east in Georgia, so we might not even see anything. That's why this forecast is as difficult as it is, because no models are really agreeing, and as you can see, they're constantly changing. So what are the chances of some sort of wintry mix? Well, about a 20-30% chance right now. Accumulation is very unlikely. If it is going to snow, we're going to see it fall, but it's going to be a warm day before it actually snows, about 50-60 degrees across the area. That's why this precip chance for any snow is extremely unlikely, just because it's going to be so warm during the day. Temperatures are going to have to fall extremely dramatically to see any snow. So that is why we're not really going to see any accumulation. This is nothing like the snowmageddon we saw last year. So for our 7-day forecast, it's going to be continuing to be a chilly one. Our morning temperatures are also going to be on the very cold side. As you can see, 32 degrees going into Sunday morning, 28 going into our Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and our afternoons are not going to be all that much better, barely making it to 60 degrees.
Hannah, thank you for the update there. The American Legion Post 199 in Fairhope celebrated its reopening this morning by thanking the community that helped make it possible. Fox 10's Stephen Moody has more on the new building and how it's helping vets in our area.
It was a VIP breakfast full of veterans in Fairhope to celebrate the new American Legion building. This came after it was destroyed by Hurricane Sally in 2020. Phase 1 was originally completed back in November. This is Phase 2, which includes a new historical building. And for the vets who will use this building, they couldn't be more thankful.
This is a place where community meets its veterans, right? And veterans can come here and tell their stories and help educate the community about what the military was about, and what the military is about, and what this country is about.
They also discussed the American Legion's Boys and Girls State Sponsorship Program. That program helps high school students learn more about government and even award scholarships.
Our youth are our future, and so everything we can do to educate our youth and help them understand what being a great American is about is just, you know, it's just uplifting.
And if you're a veteran in the area, you're more than welcome to make your way here.
To any veterans out there that's watching, please come and join us. Come hang out with us. Let us know, most importantly, if you need any support, reach out to us. Let us know. We will do everything. We'll move heaven and earth to get you the support you need.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Such a great story there. Thank you, Stephen. Listen to this. A 1,000-pound great white shark is hanging around Dauphin Island. The tagged apex predator pinged off the coast of Alabama. Chris Fisher with OSearch says it means our ecosystem is thriving and there's a lot of fish the shark can feed on as it finds warmer water. The massive 12-foot female shark was tagged in October of last year off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada. White in the Gulf near our coast used to be rare, but Fisher says not anymore, and that's a good thing.
It means one thing, it's a tip of the hat to your management in the region. These white sharks do not come where the ocean is not abundant and robust. So this is a great sign to see for the region, right? This means that your fish populations are thriving at multiple different levels across the system, and the great apex predator is coming in there to give it a little once over to make sure it's tuned toward abundance. So this is a great sign to see. If white sharks are not showing up in your area, that means we got a problem with the ocean.
Fisher adds if you are fishing near Dauphin Island, just be on the lookout for the massive shark. And of course, be sure to snap a picture if you see her. Sarah Wall is taking a deeper dive into the great white shark in the Gulf. She's taking a look at where the shark is hanging out today, what this means for the Gulf, and how you can track where she goes. In Depth with Sarah Wall, great white shark spotted near Dauphin Island is available right now on the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app and, of course, the Fox 10 Facebook page. By the way, if you do snap a picture, we would love to see those. Be sure to submit those on fox10tv.com. Well, a department store giant plans to close even more stores. A mixed quarter for big banks. Bitcoin is on the rise this month, and the throwback trend taking over social media. Fox's CJ Papa has today's business headlines.
Macy's announcing it will be closing 14 stores in its efforts for a turnaround. The department store giant plans to close 150 stores in total this year. CEO Tony Spring saying the company will continue to review its portfolio. A mixed start to the fourth quarter bank earnings season. Results from Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Citigroup show steady performance, but little signs of accelerated growth.
The big gorilla in the room, if you will, is the cap on credit card rates, and that put a shiver through the market. That was a big chance for people to take profits.
Bitcoin surging toward $100,000 for the first time in 2 months. The cryptocurrency is up more than 6% over the last week after stalling for months. Officials say cooling inflation and possible future interest rate cuts are driving factors behind the latest surge. And is 2026 the new 2016? A new trend has social media users posting images from 10 years ago. TikTok searches for 2016 are up 452% in just the last week. Back in 2016, the Taylor Swift-Kanye West feud reignited with Kanye's release of the song Famous. Beyoncé released her album Lemonade. The Pokemon Go craze started, and President Trump won the election against Hillary Clinton. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Crazy that was 10 years ago, and I've been seeing that trend on social media as well. Pretty fun there. Well, music lovers will be paying more for their favorite tunes in the U.S. and some other markets. The pricing takes effect in February, and subscribers will receive an email about the adjustment. Well, the amount of time teens spend on social media could affect their well-being. Researchers tracking 100,000 Australian children and teens in grades 4 through 12 and their social media use for 3 years. They also evaluated different aspects of well-being, including sadness, happiness, worry, and interaction in school. Findings showed that heavy use of social media in kids was associated with distress, and avoiding social media completely was linked to issues like social isolation, problematic past behaviors, or conflict avoidance. The full study appears in JAMA Pediatrics. Seniors who wear hearing aids may avoid dementia. Researchers tracked nearly 2,800 Australians with an average age of 75 who had moderate hearing loss but had never used a hearing aid and did not have dementia. Those results showed people prescribed hearing aids had a 5% risk of dementia compared to 8% for those without hearing aids. That's a 33% lower risk. Those using hearing aids also had a 15% lower risk of mild cognitive impairment, a predecessor to dementia. The study also found that the more people use their hearing aids, their risk of dementia declined accordingly. It's 11:44 now. Straight ahead, Progresso releases hard candies. We'll show you what those are, plus Instacart ranks the top 5 Super Bowl snacks. Hannah and I will bring you your midday talkers after this. Welcome back. Instacart reveals the foods that score touchdowns ahead of football's big game.
The delivery platform released a list of the top foods purchased based on data around last year's Super Bowl.
The list shows which snacks were purchased to the most leading up to game day, with tortilla chips taking the top spot by surging 106% compared to the yearly average. That's a big number.
I do love potato chips, so I don't blame them. But potato chips ranked second on the list, while the popular side for buffalo wings, ranch dressing, took third.
I can get on board with that for sure. Salsas and canned diced tomatoes rounded out the top 5.
Instacart says to prepare for this year's Super Bowl, it will offer several deals on game day favorites.
Yep, love all of those snacks. Do you have a go-to for the Super Bowl?
We used to do taco dip a lot growing up. So that was like the big thing was my dad's a retired police officer, so the police department would get together on Super Bowl Sunday and there would be a lot of eating, and usually the kids are like, what's going on, while all the dads are screaming at the TV.
So, sounds pretty typical. We talked about this last week. We like to watch the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah,
the Super Bowl's going on.
And eat the snacks. That's usually about
So I'll be eating my buffalo chicken dip watching the Puppy Bowl.
I'll be eating some sort of dip and then watching the Puppy Bowl and then the halftime show.
Oh, of course.
That's about it.
The highlights for sure.
Unless the Bears make it in.
We'll have to talk about that later.
Yes.
Big Bears fan right here, by the way. Well, listen, is it hard to resist or a hard pass?
Progresso is bringing back its hard candy-like soup drops for National Soup Month.
The flavors are chicken noodle, tomato basil, and beef pot roast.
Okay, the company is offering a bundle which includes a can of actual soup.
It is available in January while supplies last through Walmart. I wonder if that's going to be a problem with supplies lasting, because not super appetizing to me. What do you think?
I don't know, but looking at the color of the beef pot roast, why would anybody want to eat that?
And it comes with soup, so you have... Wait, I'm confused.
So you get a variety pack of all 3, it looks like, and then a can of soup comes with it?
Or
is it in a can of soup that's like a collective? I don't know.
I just don't understand the concept.
I don't...
I would rather just eat soup
I'd rather eat
candy.
soup too. Why would you want candy flavors?
Should we make that a Tasty Tuesday?
We should.
We should make that a Tasty Tuesday segment. I'm a little scared though.
Yeah, I mean, ew.
We'll keep you updated if we plan on doing that. Well, a new study finds that horses really can smell our fear.
Researchers collected samples of study participants' armpit odor when they were feeling scared, happy, and neutral.
What? The researchers then exposed the horses to different odors during standardized tests and observed the animals' behavior.
Analysts showed that both the horse's behavior and psychology were influenced by the human odors compounds.
Wow, the horses exposed to odor compounds from volunteers who had watched scary footage were more likely to startle and were less likely to approach people or investigate unfamiliar objects. This is wild to me.
This is interesting. So basically they can smell fear.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And they
You
know the
what?
different types of sweats.
Yeah.
Sweat odors from humans.
I mean, I know you release some sort of hormone like when different emotions,
Right.
but that actually is interesting because, you know, we've been talking a lot about Mardi Gras and how horses are being trained for that.
Sure.
So I feel like
that could be a connection
that
there.
can,
Maybe we should talk to
honestly.
somebody locally about that.
That would be interesting, honestly, especially we've done a lot of stories on
We have, for sure. Well, horses can definitely smell my fear. I'll tell you about my crazy story one day. It's 11:51 now. We're taking a live look outside, Hannah.
We are looking over at Dolphin Island, a beautiful sunny day, but feeling chilly out there and feeling breezy. Make sure you bundle up for your Thursday because that cold weather's not going anywhere. We'll have one more look at your forecast coming up after this.
Welcome back. When a giant bird makes a break for it, it's up to one courageous corporal to hilariously round up the flightless fugitive. Patrick Cornell shows us the bird, badge standoff, and take a look at this.
Yeah, say hello.
That's the face of an unemused emu. How'd this agitated bird get its feathers ruffled? The St. John County Sheriff's Office got a call about a runaway emu in St. Augustine, Florida. Those big birds can't fly, but they can flee. Doesn't help that the slippery sucker comes with weapons attached.
Yeah, some big old talons.
Thankfully, the corporal in charge of capturing the unbridled bird came prepared.
I'll be honest with you, I've never handcuffed an emu before, but they'll fit.
While taking great care to avoid those talons, the corporal cornered the emu and tossed a lasso around its neck.
Look who's got you now.
Seems pretty happy with his effort. The emu, not happy.
Don't look at me that way. Hey, don't bite me. Don't even think about it. Don't do it.
Next, literally slapping those handcuffs on the emu.
Look at that. I have a full set of cuffs on this emu.
Our unemused emu, unharmed and home, but not ready to embrace its captor.
Yeah, say hello. Oh! You ain't going nowhere now.
In New York, officers deploy a rope for another animal rescue. Little Falls police got a call about a woman and a dog who fell through ice into a canal. After getting the woman to safety, cops turned their attention to the dog. When the rope rescue wasn't enough, officers carefully wading out into the frigid water, getting close enough to grab the dog, working their way back to the safety of the shore. Everyone escaped the incident without serious injuries, police say. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Some animal stories there. I meant to tell you all this earlier before we went to break, but the reason why horses can smell fear and the reason why I know that is because when I was younger, a horse bit my pinky on my papa's farm. Can you see the scar? You probably can't see it. I'm just kidding. I don't have a scar.
That is such a Midwestern thing right there.
But yeah, so they can smell it for sure. Here's the forecast, Hannah.
Well, here's a look at the forecast. If you're someone who doesn't like the cold, well, it's going to stick around. We are still tracking the possibility of seeing some snow this weekend, but right now it's honestly a gamble on what we're seeing. Models are not agreeing. It's a very difficult forecast, but here at the Storm Tracker Center, we will continue to update you as models come out, but I can't promise you it is going to be cold over the next 7 days.
Okay, and yeah, we'll talk more about it on Fox 10 Live at 3 this afternoon. We will see you then taking a live look outside.
Thanks for calling Discover.